Jay Sano without intro music. Jay Sano with intro music. Intro music remix. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19. Hello everybody and welcome back. It is Jeff again coming to you from the Mindcrack server, and my house has become like a haven for zombie pigmen. They just keep coming through the portal. Oh, you just went back. They just keep coming through the portal and not leaving me alone. But that's okay. I figure what I want to do is start today's episode. I have 25 levels. I want to get some books and go throw a bunch of low-level enchants on a bunch of books. And from there, see if we can get anything good that we can start combining to make maybe like a fortune sword or something like that. Now, I only have 8 pieces of leather, which means currently I can only make 8 books. And for the life of me, I don't remember how to make a book. But we are going to see what I can do. I'm pretty sure it's just sugarcane? Or is it just straight up the reed? It's the reeds themselves, so I don't know what I was thinking there. So I need 8 sets of this stuff, I am pretty sure. And it's this and this, right? This and this, yep, there we go. So I got 8 books on me, which is all the books that I can make right now, which is fine. I can go get more cows from somewhere, I hope. So I have the 8 books. Let me bring lapis with me. So got the lapis. We need to head toward spawn. And this dude keeps getting in my freaking way. And I can't get out this door. He will move eventually. But at the same time, this is exactly what I made this for. It's so I can easily get to center spawn. So let's utilize it. I have since come through, hi buddy. I have since come through and cleaned up my rail track since BTC has something else in mind for the way this is going to go. I'm not exactly sure how my stuff over here is interfering with him, unless he just thought that I put the rail down here. So he was saying, don't worry about the rail. I'm unsure. Somebody said he mentioned in his live stream, I guess he was a little bit upset in his live stream that I had done some building. I'm not sure about that. It was just something in a comment that came through. So I'm not exactly sure how real that is, or how, if he was actually upset, or if he was just more like took him by surprise because he didn't realize anybody else was building stuff here. So I'm not sure what the plan is. I have absolutely no issues collaborating with him to try to figure out exactly what that plan is and seeing if I can help out in some way, shape, or form. What would we have here? If I put a book in here, I can only get really high enchants. I want low level enchants because I figure I can just combine them on anvils better than I can try to do anything different. I don't know if that made any sense at all, what I just said. And I might be going about this completely wrong. So there we go. Lots of low level enchants. Let's put a bunch of lapis in here. Protection, efficiency, and power. Efficiency's good. I do want efficiency. So we're going to go with efficiency on that. Just efficiency 1. That's fine. This is going to be power, protection, or sharpness. Now, none of those are really what I wanted to go for. I kind of want to get... So what would I want the most out of this? I would not mind having another power bow, though. I can't really do much to this particular bow. But it could have something else on it as well. It did not. Protection, efficiency. I can go for efficiency again. Let's go efficiency again. Another efficiency 1. I can combine those into an efficiency 2. And I'm not really using too many levels. This is really weird. I've never seen this before when I don't have the ability to hit this up. And both of these are going to give me power. Why would both of these give me power? That makes me wonder if I can do something different than a level 3 and get something different. So what if I open this thing up to allow for a higher level? Such as Bane of Arthropods. Screw that. You know, that's odd. That changed everything. I guess there was never a level 3 available before. It was very strange. I don't like any of these really, though. Punch wouldn't be bad, but I'm not going to spend 12 levels on that. Sharpness, power, sharpness, power. I guess sharpness would be better than nothing. Or just more power. Ugh. I don't know if that's the smart way to do this. I'm probably doing this completely wrong, but you know what? It's the way I'm doing this. Aqua affinity, feather falling. Feather falling 2. No, I don't want any of these either. 2, 7, and 9. Can I get this down to a 1? I'm so bad with enchanting. Still a 2. 2, 5, and 7. No, I need more. I need more torch. Let's get this down to a level 1 enchant. There should be nothing else flying in at you. There's still no level 1 enchant. Give me... You're getting something from here. You shouldn't be, though. Now all of these are taken. I can't get down to a level 1 enchant. I don't like not getting what I want. Let's see if... Aqua affinity, feather falling 1, protection 2. Level 3 enchant. Is all you're gonna give me level 3 enchants? It like gives you the same enchant. See, so the new system for this stuff really throws me off, and I'm not exactly sure how to go about doing this. I think I'm gonna be stuck with this aqua affinity. I could just do something else. I could just throw an enchant on pick and give it some basic efficiency now. Or I could make a diamond pick and put... You know what? Let's do that. Let's go make a diamond pick. Because that's what this is... Oh... No, I can't do a diamond pick yet until I break some... Oh, no, I have some normal diamonds still at home. I know, I'm taking this like the completely different direction than most of you guys would, but this is the way that I'm going about this. I almost thought that I was like at home already. So we're gonna head up here. And actually, I will meet you guys right when we get back to my base. I'll make a diamond pick and we'll come back to the enchanting area. Alright guys, so we did a little bit more enchanting. Didn't get anything too great. Some power, some sharpness. These are the books that I had on me from before. I was just moving them over to this chest that I found in the dungeon. They're really good. I did manage to get an efficiency 2 on the pick. Then I combined 2 efficiency 2... or 1 books to get another efficiency 2, put on the pick to get an efficiency 3 with the anvil that was there, and the anvil broke after the 3rd time I did something, so I need to make a new anvil, which I have plenty of iron to do, but I figure I won't deal with that now. I did get a sharpness 1 sword that I'm relatively happy with. I am going to leave it here for now as well, though, because this episode is not going to involve too much of needing to do any fighting, except probably with the bow and arrow, because what I want to do is I want to go to the Nether now. I brought some dirt with me and a shovel to be able to dig it out with. I want to go on a glowstone mission and go get some glowstone. So it started out with a little bit of enchanting. Now, next to all the enchants, there is a chest that has some broken down old stuff before it breaks that needs to be repaired. There are 2 Fortune 3 Efficiency 4 picks in there that are relatively close to being dead, but not actually. They wouldn't die after the first, like... I'd probably get a whole stack out of them before they'd even have anything with the efficiency. Oh, no, excuse me. There's not unbreaking on them. So they might actually die pretty soon, but not too bad off. And I can get them repaired if I get enough levels. I did not get to look at how many levels it would take because of the fact that everything broke on me. But... I think they're there for the being able to be used, so if I can get them repaired, I can use them to get all my stuff, which is great. But I wanted to get some glowstone so I can use it in some of my projects. So, that's crazy. Is that a fireball that got stuck in the air? I'm pretty sure that's a fireball that got stuck in the air. Now, the only way I think that that would actually happen is if... Oh, damn it. I was really hoping to be able to knock that back to him. Is if, I missed. Oh, crap. The chunk unloaded as it was flying through the air. Got him. Okay. He's down. And I think that's pretty amazing that that would actually happen. So now it's like sitting there, just like in Missile Wars, waiting to be attacked. Which is pretty cool. That glowstone's a little bit dangerous of glowstone to get. The Nether's massive. There's got to be a lot more areas of glowstone. I got myself turned around, so I already don't know which way I came from. Basically, I just know I'd have to go back toward 0, 0. No, no. It's not exactly at 0, 0, but it's closer to 0, 0. Which is guiding me this way, which is funny. Hold on. I don't want to get all lost in the Nether completely yet. Let me get a bearing on back home. And there's another ghast that spawned, of course. Pretty sure that's it right there. Yeah, that's my build right there. Okay, so we're good. To keep it relatively simple, let's try to go through some of these corridors. And while we're doing so, I figure I can tell you guys I got a decent amount of new viewers to my channel recently. Despite my subscriber numbers going down, I'm pretty sure that, you know, YouTube is just constantly... Because it all happened one day. All of a sudden, I was getting like 50 to 100 subs a day, and all of a sudden one day it was negative, and it's been negative ever since. And I'm pretty sure that's getting rid of some old channels. Granted, I might have some, you know, unsubscribes and things like that, but it's been going on for like a month and a half or 2 months now that it's pretty consistently dropping. Yet I get a lot more comments on videos of people telling me that they're, you know, new subscribers or whatnot. So I'm not really sure what's going on, but for the new subscribers out there, because I get this comment a lot. Many people ask me, like, Jason, are you a firefighter? And yes, I am. It is not my career. I am a volunteer firefighter. My career is a nurse. I am an emergency department and ICU nurse. That's what I do as a full-time job. And yes, I do work full-time. This is a hobby of mine, is YouTube, not a full-time career. So I work full-time. I do volunteer firefighter / EMT on the side. Usually every Wednesday night I'm at the fire station, so I still do that on a regular basis. I also am I also am an instructor for a nursing classes online. I teach a class called Computers in Healthcare as an instructor through the University of Michigan Flint campus, actually. So that's pretty nice. Some extra side income, and I get to use my degrees. And for those who don't know, nursing is my second career. I have not always been a nurse. I was actually a computer engineer with an IT master's degree. I then switched over to nursing, and I went to nursing school starting in 07 and finished up. Maybe it was early 08 actually, but either way I finished up at the end of 2009 and became a full-time nurse. Have since gone and got a master's degree in nursing informatics as well, so I combined all those degrees together essentially. But I have 4 degrees. This is so many stair steps. I have 4 degrees that I have gotten, and I plan on getting more. I've been looking at a degree in disaster management for a while. I think that's a very interesting concept, but I've been so busy lately with work, volunteering, YouTube, you know, family life, things like that. I do not have children. I am not married. I am not single, though. I have been dating my girlfriend for like 3 years now, so that'll probably happen at some point soon here, but just has not happened yet. Oh, you know what I always wondered? So, you see that ghast, how he's stuck? Can you build a portal around him and get a ghast to the mainland? Now that you can build, like, super big portals. Oh, yes. Got him. Whoa! Return to sender achievement, baby. Love it. God, these guys are just, like, spawning everywhere. I don't like the fact that I can't seem to find any glowstone anywhere that's reachable. I mean, It's so funny with as few people as play on the server on a regular basis. The inability to find any accessible glowstone in the Nether is kind of ironic. I know before it was always a big laugh before that Nether, had stolen all of the glowstone in the last world, and people had gone for months on the last world stating that there was no, on the last season of Mindcrack, stating that there was no more like glowstone on the map, and I managed to find lots of glowstone without too much of an issue. And in this world, I can't seem to find much at all. A little teeny bit right there. I'm looking for a pocket of this stuff. I know beggars can't be choosers and all, but there's got to be a place to go that everybody hasn't like gone to already. And there's no way people just explored this entire Nether, or maybe they did. I don't even know. It looks like that pocket's obviously been harvested up to toward the ceiling. But so last night, this is the morning for me. It's Thursday morning. I was at the fire station last night. Oh, obviously somebody's been here because there's a big staircase. I'm curious what part of the Nether hub this big staircase goes to. Very strangely made staircase. Not entirely sure. But last night I was at the fire station, and I am a fire 2. So I ride the fire engine, or the I'm also qualified on the our tower, or our truck, our aerial apparatus. And I'm an EMT basic. I got my EMT after I was a nurse, actually, so it was kind of a weird joke. I'm also a volunteer ski patrol member as well. I've been doing that since I was 16. That I'm actually still stationed in Michigan for, and technically I'm inactive this year. Last year I maintained my active status, even living in Washington, D.C., which was kind of crazy. But so I also do that. So being a ski patroller is very, very, very similar to being the training is very similar to being an EMT. And on top of being a nurse, to take, EMT class after being a nurse and a ski patroller, it was kind of a joke, but it was still necessary. Pre-hospital care versus hospital care, whole different world, etc., etc. The qualifications don't, go around each other at all. I'm just looking for a good way down to somewhere where I can traverse more Nether region. Nether region. But last night I was at the fire station. I'm also an ambulance driver, and last night I had to do the driving duties because nobody else there was a qualified driver, so I had to drive the ambulance. And I don't like driving the ambulance because it keeps me off of the engine. I would rather be on the engine, but I don't mind driving the ambulance, especially when it's, if it's only occasionally and I don't get stuck doing it on a regular basis. And unfortunately, I do get stuck doing it because there's not as many people have taken our EVOC, or emergency vehicles operations, and passed it in order to become a driver. A lot of people don't want to because they know that there's not as many drivers, so you get stuck doing it. And of course, I took the class because I like to just continue expanding on my education any way I possibly can, and it fit my schedule, so I took it, and now I have to drive a lot. But last night, I will tell you, we got dispatched for a call. We were on a call that we had finished up, and we were literally about to pull back into the station. We were at the light waiting to pull back into our station, and we got dispatched on another call. And I looked at the computer, and it was on this street that was extremely far away, like way out of what we'd consider our first due area. And that happens occasionally. Usually that means that there's, a lot of the units are out on call, so you're just the next available one in that area. I wonder which portal that is. So it means you're the next available unit, but it was a good, I think it was 4 point some odd miles away from where we were at. And in Montgomery County, where I'm an EMT and firefighter at, there are so many stations around. To have to go 4 miles to a call is pretty ridiculous because there's just so many stations in the area. And it was a dispatch for an unconscious person. Original dispatch said unconscious person. And we start going to this call, and I keep asking my charge aide, who's next to me and technically the one to give directions, and he's like, no, I know exactly where this is. This is, at this restaurant. It says it's in this shopping plaza on this street. And I'm like, Are you sure? That's so far away. That can't be where we're going to. And all of a sudden our MDC goes ding 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 ding, and it rings again, meaning there's an update on it. And he looks at the update and goes, they updated to unconscious person CPR/death, which is, it's just like a code, meaning like that there's CPR or dead person like needs to happen on this particular call. It was like an update, and I yelled to the back and I was like, guys, CPR in progress. And they were like, oh crap. So everybody in the back starts shuffling around to try to get everything ready for the CPR in progress. But we're still, you know, we're just less than 4 miles away, because it literally came in like 10 seconds after the call dispatched out on the fact that it was a, you know, CPR in progress. So I'm still not believing that we're nearly as far away from this call as we are. And now seeing that it's a CPR, a possible CPR situation, and then literally the MDC dings again and says, manager, because it was at like a fast food restaurant. It said, manager starting CPR according to caller, or currently doing CPR according to caller, was this new update. So we're like, oh crap, this is real, this is legit. And it is so far away. I will tell you, I'm a relatively conservative driver because I don't want to die. And driving in Washington, D.C. area in itself is just bad enough, because you always have, somebody once told me, always assume that everybody on the road is dumber than you are, and then you'll be safe. And you have to assume everybody on the road is just dumber than you, and they're not paying attention to you, so that you have to basically pay attention for them. I've never been in an accident with another car. I can tell you that. I've been in an accident with a telephone pole once, and that was in a parking lot, and that was a whole different story. If you listen to the WDWK podcast, you'll actually hear that story. I said it on one of the shows, but I'm a relatively conservative driver. Even driving emergency, you still drive in a safe manner. It doesn't help anybody if you don't get to the call, and it doesn't help the patient if they're in there with you and you get in an accident, because then they're just more damaged than they were. And the rule of thumb is do no harm. You will always come out okay if you don't do harm to somebody. Like that's, if you don't do no further harm, you will never really get in trouble. No matter what happens, if you didn't do any more harm, you'll never get in trouble. You've done better than doing harm. So I've also never had to drive emergency to a CPR in progress before. This was the first time that I was having to do this. As well as it was the furthest I've ever had to respond to a call. I will tell you, I put the pedal to the floor. I drove faster, that ambulance, faster than I've ever driven an ambulance before. And this is our secondary ambulance, which is actually nicer than our primary. It's more like it's a big van, almost. It's more like a big SUV made into an ambulance bed, whereas our other ambulance that's out in the shop right now is a huge, big ambulance that, you know, diesel engine, air brakes, all that stuff. That one actually has a governor on it that you can't go faster than 65 miles an hour, which gets really annoying when you get onto the beltway, because the speed limit is technically like 65, but everybody drives, you know, 75, and you're on there with your pedal down to the floor, lights and siren, and you're still getting passed because the ambulance does not go any faster than that, which gets really annoying that people pass you. This one doesn't govern. The thing is, there was no expressways taking us to where we had to go on this. This was straight up back roads that wind everywhere. I will tell you, it was awesome having the guy in the passenger seat that was there, because he was telling me, he was helping watch out on different sides of the street when we would come to cross streets, be like, you're clear on the right, keep going. You know, you're clear on the left, keep going. Make a right turn here, make a left turn here. Like, he knew exactly where we were going, and as well as I did too, to this particular location. But he's a very good like navigator, especially in emergency situations. He knows the area extremely well, and if you don't know it, he most likely does. And I think we were going on these back roads, and I will tell you, we did it very safely. He was like having a great old time on the way there, because we were kind of doing it so fast yet so safely from our perspective. We made this in, it was I think 5 minutes and 3 seconds from the second we got the call to the second we ended up on scene. And 4 miles of city traffic on back roads, unheard of. We get there as we're pulling in. A rescue squad had arrived first because they were there, so they dispatched. We were the only transport unit that they dispatched. They dispatched 2 paramedic engines and us as a transport unit. So we had to get there as fast as we could because we're the only transport unit that is going there. So if we're gonna transport, we need to be there. A rescue squad and one of the engines showed up before us. Somehow we beat one of the engines, which was coming from that area. We were way outside of the area. We still beat them because of this fun driving. We get to the back, we start pulling in, and they come up on the radio and they say, just so you guys are aware, like, make sure everybody knows this is not a CPR in progress. So turns out we didn't have to drive that fast. We didn't know that at the time. We were pulling in as this happened. So we're pulling into the place. I get to the back. I jump out the passenger door, or the driver door. I go to the back. I open up the back window, or I start to open up the back door, and it opened up already because one of the people that was in the back, she jumped out and goes, "You drove so fast." And she looked really pale in the face, and I was like, "Oh, did I make you a little bit motion sick back there?" She points to the ground. She had already puked all over the ground outside of the ambulance. I started laughing so hard because it's almost like a badge of honor that I drove so fast that I made somebody in the back of vomit. And I did it safely. I am, like I said, I am a very conservative driver. I get very upset at some of the drivers who, like, if you don't know, is this all going to collapse? I'm going to make this all collapse. If you don't know, oh, it only collapsed a little bit. Most calls, when you go to a call as a BLS unit, 90% of the calls that you end up with, they're not emergencies. You don't necessarily know that until you get there because you're basing it on a judgment call from a call going into a dispatch. They dispatch you. If they dispatch you routine, you don't drive lights and siren. You drive like a normal person to the call. If they don't know any better, they will dispatch you in your dispatched emergency, and you go lights and siren in a very, very safe way for what may be going on. You have no idea what is wrong at the time. 90% of the calls you get to, you transport a patient, and you transport them routine because it's not an emergency situation. Now, we have some drivers who... or some drivers or some EMTs who try to claim everything is an emergency, and therefore they change everything to an emergency response when you have a patient in the back. And that is extremely unsafe to do. And I don't play that way because, like I said, I'm older than a lot of these people who are there. I can say a lot of them, but there's a lot of young kids who, join the service and want to be firefighters, and you have to start through the ranks of being an EMT, and they get on there and they think it's cool to drive fast. But, I've been around the block. I've been driving for many, many years. I understand how stupid some people can be on the road. I understand how dangerous it is to drive in some areas with a lot of stupid people on the road. I don't want to die. I'm very conservative. So when I say that I drove fast and I drove safe, I'm not kidding. But I would never drive that fast unless it was another code situation. You could tell me that somebody's bleeding out somewhere. See, I want to get back to this path. You could tell me that somebody's bleeding out somewhere, and I will still drive probably slower because I know it's going to be... they're going to live long enough for me to get there if they were able to call 911 driving in a fast but safe way. Code situations are a little bit different. They may not make it. It's a judgment call. They may not make it if you don't get there in time. Because if their heart is not pumping and they're going without oxygen, they have a small window of time to get there. And when we were coming from so far away, we had to make up ground because we were the only transport unit going there. I will tell you, I was proud of myself. I was happy with myself. And it's a badge of honor that somebody had to vomit in the unit because they were motion sick because I drove us in such a expedient manner to the place that we needed to be. So I was proud. I was happy. I loved it. And of course, being the fire service, we have to give this girl a hard time at all times about this. Just because that's what you do. It's not making fun of somebody in a negative way. It's, good old people make fun. There's a couple things that I've done at the fire station that people constantly still make fun of me for. And I laugh about it with everybody because I find it funny as well. Because I know you do stupid things. You're going to hear about it. It's, oh, crap. Oh, Sorry. It's also a way, you know, that you know, if people are willing to make fun of you about something, you know they like you and appreciate you. If they make fun of you to your face about it, and in a fun manner, you can tell the difference if they're making fun of you to your face because they hate you, or if they're doing it because they, you know, appreciate you. And they do things usually because they appreciate me, and I like that. So same thing with this girl. She knows we're just having fun with her, but I'm one of the few people that I can say made somebody puke, get into a call as fast and expedient as I did. So that's my time for today, folks. I didn't get much glowstone at all. Kind of sad with that haul, but we'll try to get some more. Thanks for listening to my fun story, watching me do some enchanting, and I'll see you guys next time.